Hello again, BookTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel. Get 2 feet. I've got no rhythm. Today I'm going to do a quick update and then Friday reads, and hopefully get in and out in a relatively shorter space of time. Had my hair cut. Got the last appointment before Passover, so I came back from work today, and he saw me. The hairdresser's literally over the road. I live opposite a parade of shops, and the hairdresser's there. And hairdressers have opened up again in Israel, so he saw me. We both wore masks, and he gave me the full trim ahead of the holiday. There's a tradition that one doesn't get one's hair cut in the 7 weeks between Passover and the next festival, which is Shavuot or Pentecost, or whatever the English translation of that is. So I had my hair cut, and everyone else was having their haircuts as well, and so there was a rush, and I managed to get the last appointment. A lot of people coming in this weekend. All my kids are coming home. My son and his wife coming up from down south, and they'll be staying with us, so we've got a full house here. And we also have guests from out of town, so my in-laws who live up the coast are coming and staying with a friend of ours who's not going to be home, and also my niece who's in Israel for a year studying, and also two of my friends' daughters. One of my friends, oldest friend, who's my best man, who lives in London, and two of his daughters are in Israel studying this year, and they're going to be with us as well. So we've got 2 days. We've got the whole of Saturday. We're all home, and then Saturday night starts Passover, so Sunday is also a whole day we're all going to be together, and some of the meals we're eating here, some reading out of friends, but we've got a full house, be a madhouse for the next couple of days, and actually should be super fun, and a lot of good time to get some reading done. No computers and phones and everything for a full 49 hours, something like that. So that's a good time, and then that finishes Sunday evening, and Monday my wife and I and my daughter and my niece are all going away up north to the spa, where we should also have a relaxing few days. I've taken the whole week off work next week, so it should be a fun time. If I can, maybe I will do some videoing in the spa, and hopefully the weather's good and we'll be sitting out by the pool, but even if it isn't, it's still going to be a relaxing time, so looking forward to that. And happy Passover to anyone who celebrates. I hope you have a great time and enjoyed the Seder night, which is the first night of Passover where we get together. For me, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I don't drink at all. Not a moral or a religious choice. I've just never really taken to alcohol of any kind. So actually, the first night of Passover is the only night of the year where I drink anything, and I drink as part of the telling of the tale of the Jews escaping from Egypt. And we tell the story of the plagues, and if you've read your Bible, you know all about it. And as part of that, I drink 4 glasses of wine. Everyone else has beautiful, dry table wine, and I drink this sort of very sweet, kosher wine, because I certainly can't drink anything dry. So I literally have to hold my nose and neck 4 glasses of wine. It turns out that after 4 glasses of wine, I just get loud. I'm not a person who is overly burdened with inhibitions to begin with, so I don't feel that I'm less inhibited than I am sober, but I do get very loud, and the evening sort of crescendos to the big meal, and then after the meal there's usually some singing goes on, and I can be boisterous, and then that's it, and then I sleep well, and that's it for another year. So that's what's coming up. In the last week, what have I read? A couple of books that I finished. One of them was If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin. This is the second Baldwin I read. The first one was The Fire Next Time, which was non-fiction essays. This is a novel. I in my head I was going to focus on his non-fiction, and I picked this up in a book haul that I did locally here. It was a book that caught my eye, and thought, yeah, well, why not read some of his non-fiction? It's a short, brief, 200-page novel. This was just absolutely beautiful in every way. Beautifully written, terribly sad. It's about the incarceration of a black man in America, and the woman he leaves behind, who's pregnant with his child. And so on the one hand, a terribly sad story, except it's not about tragedy and sadness. It's about love and hope and compassion and family, and it was just beautiful, and I wept from very early on almost through to the end. I haven't seen the film. I'm sure it's marvellous, but this comes with my highest recommendation. If you have any interest in Baldwin, or you've read any of his fiction or non-fiction, this is just on its own a beautiful novel from about 1974, really, really tremendous stuff, and yeah. And this will stay with me a while. I think one of the better things that I've read in a long time. And after that, I hate read the latest for me. So this is about number 15 in the Rebus series by Ian Rankin. I've hate read all of them up till now, and this will probably be the last one. Why, Daniel? Why would you hate read 15 books, 15 plus? I think because there's a couple of short story collections in there. Why would you read so many books? Why would you hate read them? And there's a great answer to this. A good friend of mine many years ago was a big fan of Ian Rankin, and is somebody who we share a lot of taste. So there's a lot of recommendations gone back and forth over the years, things that we both liked, James Elroy, Joe Lansdale, sort of crime and sort of noirish fiction that we both really liked, and we're always giving each other good recommendation. There's things that I don't always like he's liked. So the James Lee Burke, Dave Robichaud novels, I read 2 of them and gave up because it was just all a bit too much wind through the bayou kind of stuff, and sort of ticked me off. And Rankin, I just didn't really fancy. I prefer American noir, that sort of, I stayed away from British stuff. But then he bid in an auction to have his name included as a character in one of Ian Rankin's books. So this is something that sometimes happens. Authors that are on a pretty regular publishing schedule, who've reached a certain amount of success, can, ahead of their next book being published, auction off for charity. This is not a way to make extra money on top of the advance or publishing money they get. This is often done for charitable purposes, and Rankin did this for, I think it was this, in this instance, this was the 14th in the series, and auctioned off. My friend bid a considerable sum of money and is named as a character. His name is used as a character in one of the Rebus books. In my desire to show loyalty to my friend, I wanted to read the book that he appears in, except I was unable to read the 14th in the series and had to start at number 1, and over a period of 7, 8, 9 years I worked my way through them. Can't say that I got a whole lot of pleasure out of any. The first few at least were shorter, and they got bigger and bigger. This is like 400 pages worth, and they're just terrible. Rankin is not a great writer, in my opinion. Rebus is terribly irritating, drunken twerp of a character with the worst name in detective fiction. John Rebus. We get it. Rebus is a puzzle. Rebus solves puzzles. His thought processes irritate me. Everything he says irritates me. The vast amount of alcohol consumption irritates me. His wishy-washy obsession with the Rolling Stones irritates me. I do not like these books, and I read 14 of them to come to the one that my friend was mentioned in, and then I'd already bought this one. This is the one after that. So I read the 14th one a couple of years ago. Thought I was done with it because I'm in lockdown, don't have more books. I thought, okay, I've got this one, I'm just going to read it and then I'm done. And now I truly am done with Ian Rankin. So really don't enjoy it, and glad to put it behind me. They're rubbish. And then it's just started, and this is the book I'll take into the weekend with me. This is Liver's Shorts, Olive Again, with this lovely naked hardback. I love this. Picked this up in the second-hand store, and it's great. And I'm like first chapter in so far, but I already know that I'm going to enjoy it very much. And it's whatever. It's under 300 pages, and I've got a few more books that I've had sitting around for ages, and I'm going to hopefully get to them over the weekend and over next week, read a lot of stuff that's been sitting on my TBR pile. I'm going to feel very virtuous, and then hopefully in 2 weeks' time we'll get to London. We'll see. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, have a great Passover, and enjoy the rest of the week. And if I can, I will try and send some stuff from the spa. In no way trying to make people jealous at all. It'll just be, so you can share all the fun that I'm having. God bless, bye.